What's up, motherfuckers? I wasn't gonna make a video today. I was gonna be door dashing today because I'm broke and I need money. But unfortunately, I'm gonna be broker now and be needing money more because my car broke down. But on the bright side, I can record a video now, so there we go. Today, I'm gonna be talking about EDP 445. Eat That Pussy 445. New documentary about him out on YouTube. Quite a big thing now. Quite a big thing. I watched the documentary and I've got some thoughts about it, and I've got some things to say that I haven't been seeing a lot of people say that I think would be some good insight into this situation. So here's the thing. Obviously, I think it was good that the creators of this documentary had decided to donate all of the profits of the documentary to some organization, some nonprofit that was helping, with kids that have been through unfortunate traumas. And, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But I think my big problem with the documentary was that it just felt like entertainment. It felt like it was just trying to be funny. And the unfortunate, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it, thing about that, is that it was incredibly funny. It was fucking hilarious. And this isn't a joke. This definitely shouldn't be a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Kids getting molested, not a laughing matter at all. But they just made it so funny. And I mean, it's one thing when you like post memes about that. Like obviously EDP's been a meme for a long time, and you see the same thing with Epstein and Donald Trump, stuff like that. R. Kelly, Diddy, obviously like there's memes about that, but I feel like if you're going to be making a documentary, especially if you're going to be making a documentary where the perpetrator is involved in the documentary, maybe it shouldn't be coming off as a joke. There were just so many points in the documentary where it just felt incredibly unserious. There was this one portion of the documentary where it was literally just him talking about how he wasn't gay, and then there was like text on the screen like, we want to make sure that that he isn't gay, and they had him go up there and make a presentation about how gay Grindr was, and about how Grindr was gay, and he's not in Grindr because Grindr's gay, which, no shit, Grindr's gay. That's the whole point of Grindr, is that it's gay. I mean, like, water's wet type thing. Like, of course, Grindr's gay. Like, you're not saying anything new here. But it was other stuff like that. Like, they had him go up in a suit at different points and just make presentations. They had him make a presentation about YouTubers and internet personalities that he likes, and YouTubers and internet personalities that he doesn't like. And the whole time he was being very hilarious because, hate him or hate him, he's still really funny. That's the unsettling part, is that he is so funny. But it just felt like a joke to me. It just felt like a joke to me, and I didn't like that at all. It just says a lot about our society, where you're going to be making a documentary about a child molester, and you're just turning the whole thing into a joke, because the whole thing felt like entertainment. I mean, they had this one part where he was like, there was like a light going around him. You've probably seen a clip of that, but it just looks like so dramatic, trying to be dramatic, just to be funny. And then there was a different part where they had like Avengers lineup of YouTubers at the end, and they had like freaking Chris Chan up there. Like, what does Chris Chan have to do with this? And like the text in the Chris Chan was like, literally Jesus Christ, which is hilarious. I guess Chris Chan is, but it just felt like a big joke to me. It really just felt like a big joke to me. There were some serious parts where they got into the depth of his crimes, some serious and very disturbing parts of the documentary. But overall, for the most of the documentary, it was just funny. And this isn't really something we should be laughing about, especially when it's a documentary, especially when you're having him come on and you're having him say jokes and stuff. But yeah, not good at all. One thing that, it sort of makes me think is that he was saying that, like, the reason that he did what he did was because he was so lonely and stuff, and he, even being a successful YouTuber, having all that money, he couldn't get a girl. Which, first of all, I don't really believe that. Like, bro, these girls will thirst over anybody. There are crazy fan clubs for literally anybody that is remotely famous. I mean, yeah, he was fat, but you're telling me that no girls were attracted to him? He was still funny and had a lot of money. That rhymed. He was still really hilarious and had a lot of money. You're telling me that he couldn't get a girl? I don't know if I really believe that, you know. Obviously, he probably definitely has a hard time getting a girl, you know, after people find out that he was a child molester, you know. I mean, I think that's a pretty big red flag. But, you know, before that, he didn't get any girls? I don't know if I believe that. And even if he didn't, he could have so easily, because obviously being an incredibly funny person and having a lot of money and a lot of fame, a lot of clout to his name at the time, he had so much going for him that most guys don't have going for them. All he had to do was lose some weight and maybe go to therapy to, like, you know, try to figure out his bad views about women. I don't usually support therapy, but in his situation, it's definitely would be recommended. You know, he'd have had to have curbed down the porn use too, of course. But he could have very easily gotten a girl, and you know, he could have very easily gotten a very good-looking girl. But no, he decided it was better to try to diddle kids. You know, not good stuff. Not good stuff. The silver lining in this, the one good thing about this, is that it was saying that he had like stage 5 kidney failure, and that typically somebody who has stage 5 kidney failure has about a 5-year life expectancy, and he's been diagnosed for 4 years, so probably gonna die soon. So, you know, I guess that's a good thing. You know, one less pedo in the world. That's always a good thing, isn't it? But yeah, man, the documentary just felt like a joke. Also, one thing that I gotta say is that he has like one close friend now who's like this, I guess it's like a friend that he's had since like middle school or something. And this guy is so delusional. Like, oh my God, this guy is so insanely delusional. He was saying that he thinks that EDP was set up and he didn't do any of it. Meanwhile, EDP is literally admitting to all of it in the documentary, and his friend is like, no, he didn't do any of that. And he's like, I trust this man around my kids, even if he's alone with my kids. I fully trust this man around my kids. You're a fucking awful father, man. That you can't see that he's literally tried to meet up with kids, and you're trusting him around your kids, and you're calling him your friend, and you're defending him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're really almost as bad as him. So, you know, fuck that guy, of course. Not good stuff. Not good stuff at all. Also, that they had Chris Hansen in there, which was also funny. I think, you know, the whole where they had Chris Hansen be interviewing EDP, that was really funny. And I don't think there was really much of a point to do that besides the fact that it was hilarious. You know, and also, I mean, you know, you got to talk about how much the predator catchers, you know, really messed up, because they caught him 2 times. 2 different predator catchers groups caught him. And he's still a free man. He didn't get any charges because of it. You know, not good at all. They really messed up. And, you know, Chris Hansen had been saying that all those predator catchers are amateurs, and, you know, they did a terrible job. And, you know, that's really is a sad thing on the part of them, that they messed up so badly, especially since the second group of predator catchers, you know, he had messaged this girl, and these predator catchers were really encouraging her to be messaging this guy and stuff. But it was an underage girl. Like, there's a reason that Chris Hansen uses like 19-year-old decoys rather than actual underage girls, because it's wrong to be, you know, putting a girl in that situation and, you know, encouraging her to keep messaging this guy who's clearly, you know, assaulting her or like harassing her and stuff. And they're just encouraging her to keep on messaging him. I mean, in its own way, that's its own harm towards her that they're doing. Like, they're causing harm to this underage girl in an attempt to catch this guy. But in attempting to catch this guy, and they didn't even catch him, really. In attempting to catch this guy, they're causing harm to an underage girl. So they're really no better than him. They're probably better than him, but not by that much. Not by that much. Not a good thing at all. Not good. Overall, I think that, you know, there was some good in this documentary in the fact that he was able to sort of give us more of a view into the mind of an actual pedophile, bring us more into the view of a mind so that, like, you know, we can sort of realize how these people think. You know, I think that there's some good in that. Maybe bring some more awareness. It's good that we're, you know, putting out there a little bit more how bad this guy is. But it just felt like a joke to me. It really just felt like a joke to me. And I don't think that really sat quite that well with me, was that it felt like a joke. You know, maybe I'm a little bit guilty of this as well myself, because I kind of did make this video because it's such a hot topic online right now, and I was just hoping that maybe this would pop me off a little bit. I don't know if it will or not. I don't know if anybody's watching it. Thank you if you are watching this far. Thank you so much. But, you know, it just felt like a big old joke. It just felt like a big old joke, like a big show. And I didn't like that at all. So, you know, no good. No good. It was entertaining, though. It was some very good entertainment, but maybe not very good that it is entertainment. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Press that like button. Press that subscribe button. Smash that notification bell. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about this. Follow my Twitch, and y'all have a great day. All right? Y'all have a great day.